of Randolph Macon's airport. Orange, though, looking for something. I mean, it's a battle of the midfield here.
Yeah, and you know, the one thing that I also like seeing is different cars. The Dominus, we didn't see that at all in our last game, and I don't see it too much in the higher leagues, but it's a good competitive car. Dragon uses the Dominus, which I know.
A lot better, you know, back in the day, right? Before these, like,
for sure.
These later things. Speaking of the Dominus, that's not actually the Dominus, that's
The Octane, or not, sorry, the Fennec.
Fennec.
That's
yeah,
the car I use.
The Fennec.
And they got the
Egan
gold.
there gonna get fuel on the board here. You see, you know, a little bit of some turtle in there. They're just bored, you know. They get the goal. They gotta make sure to show off. As another kickoff here is gonna go the favor of Fuel Rising. But ball is right back on their side. Enrage though looking to clear that one out. They'll get past two defenders, and now that one here.
In a grid. Oh wow, that's a really nice shot, but a good
from nowhere. Now they're gonna look for something. Hurt to Trim, not gonna find it. Just get that one sent down to the ground. As Sniper McGee has the opening, centers it here for Man Rage, who gets that touch. It's not gonna go there. He's looking for something, as each player just trying to get something off of the center play. Instead, Orange now 29 boost. Gonna lose. Question there as Man Rage. Nice pinch there from Keegan, almost getting that one in.
And a nice aerial, too, we see here with Sniper McGee.
Definitely some mechanics for sure. I mean, neither of these teams too bad so far, but Randolph Macon definitely in the lead. As Keegan here going to look to stop that one in its tracks, but big save there, though, from off Fuel. But Snoop's right back there with the second goal for themselves this game. Great save there from Sniper McGee, but it wasn't enough to keep it out the third time.
Now, see, the one thing I feel like that play started with Keegan right there. You know, a good job. The ball was kind of rolling to him, and he tapped it. He tried to tap it out. There's this one thing my friend told me when I was trying to get better at Rocket League, and I think it applies in all levels, and it's sometimes just because the ball's there doesn't mean you need to hit it. And I think that's what we're going to see a lot of the different play style of, right? A lot of the times you'll see Reeker kind of circle back to the ball, or, oh, what a save there. But still, just the pressure there.
It's just always on the side of Fuel Rising. The toppers, I mean, you're just a fan of the top. You're a fan of personality in the game. I understand that. Orange, though, getting themselves in board here. Just a beautiful shot there. 1-1-1 KPH. I mean, a little bit of speed on that one for sure.
Yeah.
As they're taking a 5-1 lead in this game one. Commanding lead at that. But Fuel, they're going to open that one up as Keegan going to get the second goal here so far, coming alive for the side of Fuel. And there's a minute left. I mean, this isn't insurmountable for sure. It's definitely possible to come back here as Sniper McGee, he starts to get online. See Man Ray starts to get online. I mean, Sniper McGee gets online.
And we
Things are about to change.
Chills ran down my spine. The thing about Sniper McGee in his prime, I hope we can see just a glimpse of that tonight. I'm really excited. I love watching this play, but like I was saying before, sometimes it's okay to take a moment, like right there, right? Man Rage knew kind of like I'm not in a good spot to hit the ball. Look, he can kind of come back, and unfortunately, does get scored on. But that's not him. His teammates should be there in that mid. You know
someone has to be there to cover, right? He's going to be the aerial contestant. Someone has to be the one sitting in the net.
But they
instead both go for the aerial contestant. Just maybe a bit of a miscommunication there. It's something that, you know, you start to get once you play with your team a little bit more, right? I believe both these teams, again, same as our main roster, this team also has just been created this semester, right? So they haven't been playing together for very long. So they're still, you know, getting towards that synergy here as Larry McGee looking to clear this one out, does do exactly that. Urgy Trim, though, is going to be there to respond. It's stopped by Snoops instead, who is really starting to, you know, make a name for themselves in this lobby. McGee flies in, but now has no boost. But almost finds the placement there. Hurt too. I mean, Hurt to Trim has been playing lights out defense here, lights out goaltending. Snoops as well, been the main striker. Egan, though, the main star so far for Fuel Rising. Sam McGee gets that touch.
Oh, nice.
It's centered here for the side of Randolph Macon. It's an open play, 5 seconds. It's counting down. RMC are just going to look to send this one down in. And they're going to take a 1-0 lead here.
RMC, which I like, a little tag coming out there. With Hurt to Trim coming out with the MVP there. Now, a big thing, I think, is kind of those double commits on the side of Fuel. A lot of them are going, I know that's kind of like, you know, the lobby that we're playing in kind of, I'm going to assume around diamond-ish, maybe a bit lower, like maybe plat-ish, right? And we're going to see a lot of double commits. I think a lot has to do with, like you said, they haven't played together as much.
Communication, right?
Exactly. A lot of those, we saw a double commit on the side of saves, but especially on the offensive end, that's what they need to kind of watch that main roster and see how they play, right? When Reeker's going for these, double, triple flip resets, ignore that part. Ignore that part. Ignore, him going for these crazy plays. Look at the rest of the team. Where is Ches placed? Where is Reeker placed? So when someone like Keegan goes up, where is, Sniper McGee going to be placed? I think he should be placed more in like that midfield area.
Yeah, you need someone to be midfield. You need someone to be able to cover when, if a contention goes awry, right? If something ends up not playing out how you want it to, you need multiple people inside that net. I mean, when it's on your side, you saw most of Fuel pretty much in that net. You had one person contesting, while the other two were just playing the defense they could. As we're back into the second game, Fuel, they want to get a better start to this one for sure than what they did last time. I mean, they went down pretty early on. Manrage, though, has a little bit of an opening here, looking for something, centers it up. Then McGee goes up, finds the touch. Another center here for Manrage, and a beautiful play there from Fuel Rising.
And see, that's
find that first goal of the game.
That's what we're talking about, of not double committing on that. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a double commit, but Manrage staying on the ground and being able to come in, that's a free goal. That goal is going to be there 99% of the time. If you have someone go for an aerial, it's going to command players to double commit because they're like, oh my god, they're going for an aerial, I have to stop that, right? Whereas realistically, only one of them is going to save it. So 2 of you or 3 of you going up for that save is useless. But it's about communication in this league, in this lobby, and they don't trust their teammates as much too, right?
It's just a knowledge. It's just you don't know exactly what stops something, right? When you don't have the same amount of hours invested as some of these higher, some of these tier 1 teams, right? So you're still going to have these problems. Snoops, though, not going to find the contestation. 4 players going up for that aerial ball. It's just going to stay stagnant in the middle there. Boost is in favor of Renoff making. I mean, Hurt to Trim has almost 100 boost here as well as Orange. So this offense is going to be all in their favor. I mean, Fuel, 27 boost is the highest you have. Able to get this out is going to be a miracle, which they do exactly that. This attack is just not going to have any real boost behind it, as your only boost is going to be on Weekend. And now the ball's back in your side. Another center here, Orange, though, not going to find the touch they wanted to. As Snoops looks for something, is having up the side of the wall, but it's going to get cleared out by Sniper McGee. Hurt to Trim gets that one, trying to place it onto net. And the boost. Neither team really have the boost when they're trying to go for some sort of these offensive. They're using a lot on these defensive plays, which means that when they're playing these offense, when they're playing this more forward position, they're just running out of juice.
Yeah, and it's also just like they're kind of going for these overextensions, right? Like we saw, they got to clear the ball. You talked about they had barely any boost. They cleared the ball, and then Sniper McGee right here. See, great job. Don't go for that ball. He was looking to find some boost and then circles back. Don't overexert yourself. If you have no boost, there's no point. You're probably not scoring. If you're scoring with no boost, it's usually pretty lucky, or it's from the help of your teammates that you have boost. It's better to circle back and attack together with boost. Whereas instead of just one person overly pushing up with no boost, right? It's not going to do anything.
Double tap there for Grim. Almost finds something. A demo comes in on to Sniper McGee. They're back in. Manrage, though, looking for some sort of offense. Another demo comes in onto Fuel. And they're starting to get a little bit more, aggressive, a little bit more scrappy here, as they're trying to keep it on the side of Fuel. But this is a 1-0 game. I mean, this feels tense. It's head even. Fuel still has the lead. Snoops, though, has a little bit of a lead here. Be able to center that one out. There's no one to follow up. Orange not there. Is nowhere to be found. Now Fuel should be able to clear this one out, as again they have the boost advantage.
Yeah, and again there, Sniper McGee, no boost. You get it clear, kind of circle back and grab that boost. He misses that corner boost in the midfield, so now he's sitting in his net, no boost, and he's going to it there's 2 people on their team, 0 boost. That should never ever happen. Unfortunately it is now, but it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to rely on Keegan. Keegan's been doing a really good job of keeping his boost management, and he's been the big all-star, as you refer to, or superstar. And it's to do with positioning, and it's to do with boost, and it seems like he's in a bit of a league of his own when it comes to that right now. But a nice shot by Hurt to Trim, but a great save. He does center it in a good little
bump,
bump
stop that play. Snoops now, another defense, and I mean, in this game, it's a lot less scoring, and it's both teams are playing well on the defensive side. The attacking, little bit of overcommits here and there, right? They're not. It's really been a boost situation, I feel, for most time. For the trim though, that's gonna be that's a goal.
Yeah.
There's nothing really you can do. Once you get past those defenders, you're home free, especially when you have full boost. So,
yeah, just unfortunate there by Fuel. You know, a double commit, and again, like we said, they all had no boost. One of them had one boost just from a panel that they picked up on the ground. There's no reason 3 of you should be all the way in the corner of your opponent's end if you at least one of you doesn't have full boost to be able to get back. If one of you has full boost and, you mess it up, you can hopefully try to at least make a save to come back. You probably won't get it, but at least someone's going to get there and come back and do something, but it's just not going to happen. It's just, it's just awareness of the game and the game sense and whatnot. But right here, we're going to see Sniper McGee go up for an aerial, unfortunately missed there, but Fuel is going to try to get a goal here. 30 seconds left. That's going to be on net, but a nice save there. Some really good saves coming out. I really like when, these teams are tested with their aerial play, and it shows, right? Like, they're like, oh, I don't like going for aerials, but when they have to, they can do it. And I think
long shots, right? They're going to be forcing those aerial plays. And right, going up. So is Keegan. Again, it's another double commit here for Fuel, but it feels like, honestly, it's a formality. We're going to be going to overtime here as 1-to-1. Ball going to be sent down by Randolph Macon because it was in their side. It feels like, really, when you watch the main team play, right, you saw whenever they're on the attack, there's 2 players inside the net, or like inside, the opponent's side, and there's 1 player kind of in midfield, right, ready to play back. When you're watching Fuel do this so far, this Rising team, they've kind of all 3 been overcommitting. It means if anyone gets past them, it's just going to be over. But we are in OT here. They want to take this one. I mean, this was their game from basically get-go. Keegan looked for something, does find a shot on net, but 3 players just sitting there for Randolph Macon. They're able to stop it as it hurt to Trim. Not to find anything. Sniper McGee is there.
And a nice center here, and not able to capitalize, unfortunately, with Fuel. But no, I definitely agree. It is that positioning. I wonder if Leo helps coach them and whatnot, but an attempt there, but unfortunately Fuel couldn't capitalize, and now Keegan going up with a full tank of boost, uses most of it to get up there, but it couldn't even get a shot off, unfortunately. But Fuel is here and back in the defensive end, and it looks like they're going to try to take this out pretty well. A nice flip over. Keegan going to take it away from Sniper McGee there. Not sure what the comms were, and now out of boost, and same with the rest of Fuel, kind of low on boost as they kind of circle back now, and Keegan flying up.
Not going to get the touch that he wanted to, as Fuel in that earlier play, Keegan got 2 centers beautifully placed right in front of the net. There's no follow-up there. He will not be able to sink that one in, as now it's back on their side. Hurt to Trim finds something, but Sniper McGee clears it out again, but it's a centered ball. Orange, again, it feels like not been able to find the touches they want off of these centered balls. Just been send them down more, not been like, get that power in the hits. Snoop's here. Something is playing midfield, has that boost over much everyone else. Now, Sniper McGee again down to 0 boost. Man Rage as well, 0 boost. Fuel, they're on the back foot here. Grabbing these mini boosts. The only one grabbing a major is going to be Keegan here, who was looking for something with the ball. Snoop's just able to walk this one in slowly. Able to stop it. Orange stuck on the wall here as they're looking for something.
Yeah, and right there, also Randolph, They had 3 of them all going for the ball. They're a big common kind of like strategy when attacking is if someone's in the corner, someone could be in that mid area, right, that you talked about, and they could be slightly behind them in case they lose the ball and someone tries to clear it. And then you have someone in that center area. So right here, if you can get that ball to the center, someone should be there waiting. See, good job there by holding back behind, right? If someone's in the corner, someone's sitting behind them, right? You want to have someone there in case it gets cleared, and then they can push the ball back into the net and keep the offensive going. And I think it's just a lack of awareness on the field right now. But Man Rage goes up.
Both teams has been beautiful so far in this OT. Neither team really letting up as Keegan able to reach it there. And now Man Rage kind of has to. Man Rage and Keegan both have full boost. Ball is in their side as Orange looks to clear this one out, but just no boost. It's just going to stay here. 14 boosts. They do get it past 1, but Sniper McGee is going to be able to stop that one. Now Man Rage and Keegan are back on the defensive. And they're not going to be able to get up in time. A beautiful shot there for her to Trim, who really seems to be placing the best shots so far in
It's a tough
this
shot.
series. And yeah, been finding some very good angles. And they're going to take a 2-0 lead here.
He won a champ tournament? Oh my goodness, you see that? Look at that
Wait,
on this
that
tag.
does look
Yeah,
like he won a champ
it
tournament.
says, yeah, season 20 champ tournament winner. Damn, hurt to trim. That hurts my heart that Fuel lost that one, unfortunately. You know, we went into, I believe, 3.5 minutes of overtime just for Fuel to unfortunately lose. But they can take away a lot of good things. They played really solid defense. Their offensive end was also not bad. I think they just need, they have the right idea. If someone's in the corner, have some guys in that midfield, but I think they need to be positioned a bit, you know, farther back or a bit closer depending on the ball and depending on their boost. I think just because one player is attacking doesn't mean the whole team needs to be. If you can't give yourself, like if you don't have enough boost, there's no point of putting yourself up there. You're just going to make it so it's easier for them to score in the transition. And oh my goodness, Hurt to Trim had 977 score.
Yeah, 2 goals, 4 saves, 13 shots on net. I mean, Sniper McGee had 6 saves. That's fantastic. Yeah. But when you're running 13 shots, Hurt to Trim really, you know, taking this one by storm and kind of making it feel like they're out of their element. Really, like it feels like they're just, you know, a little bit of step above, as they're just, you know, they're finding the better shots, they're finding the better clears. Their boost management's been there, and with, I mean, again, 13 shots there, right? Only 2 end up going in.
Yeah, but 13 is
that's
pretty,
enough.
Yeah.
You're getting those opportunities. You're getting those chances time and time again. Into the third game here.
Nice save there by Sniper McGee. I think Sniper McGee might need to change his name because he's been the big backbone of the defensive end. So
6 saves, 5 saves.
Yeah.
That one, I mean, clearly their defensive player here. Yeah, not going to be your shooter. I mean, maybe it's a bit of a bait. You know, they're trying to lull the enemy teams into thinking that Sniper McGee is going to be the one in the front, and then he's actually lights out on the defense.
Yeah, no, I do like that. You know, a little bait and punish, right? You know, you gotta. They'll be like, oh, watch out for Sniper McGee here. He's gonna have a crazy shot, and he just clears the ball.
Just sits in that net, and he's doing a fantastic job of it. Manrage and Keegan instead are going to be the ones mostly sitting in that front line, sitting in here, just drop there off of the ceiling, but it's not going to have anyone there to contest it. As ball back again in the side of Randolph Macon. Fuel keeping the aggression, keeping the pressure. They're balancing players. It's beautifully played there by Manrage, and honestly, all of Fuel. You saw them, you know, once one person goes for the shot here, right? Keegan goes for it. You see Sniper McGee loop back around to mid. They're making sure they're not going to give up those goals that they lost last time, right?
They're learning some rotations.
They're learning how to rotate.
They're learning
beautiful shot there from Manrage.
Yeah, it was some really good shots there. They actually kind of got lucky. Sometimes it's better to miss because you can get a different, you know, bounce off the post, and then the other team isn't able to control it. So, you know, worked out in their end. They had some post shots that they could work with, but I think they are doing a really good job at controlling these balls, you know, on the offensive end for sure, and just playing more as a team and learning, like you said, these rotations. It seems like this game they're kind of getting the hang of it, of rotating and playing a bit more as a team. And I think playing
Name him
against
Defender McGee.
What'd you say?
Name him Defender McGee right now.
Yeah,
that's the third save here for Sniper McGee.
We needed
not going to be able to find that fourth one, unfortunately. A little bit of caster curse there.
Yeah,
but still, I mean, just been really kind of stuck alone here on the defense. Not going to be able to get up for that one. Instead, a little bit short. I mean, Hurt to Trim again, a beautiful placement there.
This is going to be a big learning curve, especially for Fuel Rising. I wonder if they've went up against any teams where there's just one person that's, you know, significantly better than the lobby, because it seems like Hurt to Trim kind of is that right now. I mean, if you can win a champ tournament, you definitely have a lot better mechanics than this lobby right now. And so the fact that he has that, I think Fuel's kind of going to have their game plan around them. And, you know, whoa, well, maybe not.
Double touch there.
Yeah, double touch. I don't know how intentional it was, but
it looked
nice
pretty
shot.
intentional. I can't lie. I mean,
nice shot.
It looks. You see the spin. You see the. You know. It feels like very clearly intentional.
We'll give it to him for sure. That was nice.
I don't think every. I think the players here are a little bit more equally matched than we think. I do think Hurt to Trim is a little bit better for sure, especially after that second game where they kind of went lights out. But the team around them is definitely doing their job. Snooks is here. Orange has been that midfield player, being ready to match those plays. Demo comes in from Fuel's Manrage on to, I mean, hey, if there's a player that you think is significantly better, you could just demo him.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was getting to. I think they really should. Manrage, nice little shot. Cheeky shot from the kid there to put them, to tie the game. Sorry, I thought they were going to go up one, but to tie the game there, nice to come in. Aerial, no boost. Just use all of it in that splash, you know. Just like Reeker, honestly, just like him. But, yeah, no, I think they should definitely go for some more demo plays. The only thing is, there's a big rule of thumb in the Rocket League, which I hope they know. If someone is in the corner and they're trying to make a passing play, don't go to demo. Because if someone's in the corner, right, and you're going to demo, there's only one other person there to have the shot. If they miss this shot, who is there to play defense, right? There's no point of going for demos if they're in the corner. The only time you should go for demos kind of is if your team is behind you and you're in front of them, go for that demolition, right? If you're up that boost, get in front of the person with the ball and go for that demo. And I think that's what they need to do. And I think it could be definitely beneficial. Play a bit more scrappy, as we saw, you know, our other team Fuel play at the end. Get scrappy, start bumping, start getting some demos, right? If you don't have a lot of boost, but you still want to be there, even though we suggest against it, I think a good way of being a pest still is being just pumping and demoing. And right here, no boost from anyone, but Her to Trim just missed off the mark there. Unfortunate by him. But Sniper McGee going to push the ball out there, just again being that nice, defensive anchor. And here's going to be an attempt, a nice double tap by Fuel. Dang, who are you feeling like today? That was a nice play there by mid-range. That's his second aerial goal, third goal of the game. He has all of them for Fuel. Nicely done. That was a big play.
Harnessing a little bit of that recruit power, has that splash goal to the goal right here, as they're looking for something. For sure, Fuel taking the lead finally here. Need to hold on to it, right? Last time they had the lead, end up losing it. Need to keep the pressure up. You got to make sure not to get tunnel visioned on these demos, though, right? You can't just always be looking for demos, or else you're just not playing the game, right? You got to make sure you're still focusing boost control on how the ball is being played, making sure you can set yourself up and making sure your defense is there. Fuel feels like this Rising team. Remember McGee moving a little bit more forward as Man Rage is going to be the one. Net, now there's two here. Snoops looks for something, centers it towards the rim, but they're not going to find much. Another bounce. It's just being continuously centered. It's now back into the corner as again tries to clear this one out. Passes it right across his own goal.
Oh, nice touch there. Just squeaking it by. It's really like, a kind of like just one or two touch game. Honestly, a lot of this game has been back and forth, clearing. But when you get these offensive opportunities, you gotta score on those. And just if you can just touch it over one of their players and win a 50, you probably shouldn't. You gotta capitalize on these in this lobby here, because these are all some really great players. Obviously, they've been working really hard. I believe this is playoffs for them.
This is playoffs, yeah.
Right?
We're in ECAC playoffs yet again.
So this is a big do or die moment, and you gotta take these. Like right now, same for McGee, you gotta get rid of that ball. You have zero boost, and someone's coming to you. Flick that ball, give it to your teammate, right? But Fuel right now, they need to look. They have no boost. We should not be attacking right now.
Sniper McGee is the only one with the boost here. He's looking to keep this attack going as Man Rage did end up looping back. Got the boost. Ooh. A nice demo play there. Good assist on the side of Fuel. I mean, beautifully. A Man Rage. That's the third one into the net. Really, Sniper McGee finds this demo to stop the defender.
Yeah,
and,
huge.
Snoops is not going to be there in time. Fuel taking a 2-point lead with 7 seconds. I'd say this game is not as fun as done gets unless a cheeky kickoff goal comes, but it seems like Fuel ended up winning it. Bring it to the ground. All you need to do here, right, Fuel? You don't have to be too fancy. That's exactly what they do. They go, they bring it to a 1-point series. It's now 2-1, and Fuel starting to come alive.
Yeah, and I love to see that also the Fuel team is going, that they have, I believe it's a club. They have a club together that they're all in. So they're all in the Fuel club. So they definitely play all the time together. Definitely get some positive vibes going. That's a big win. Now 2-1. So I love seeing that on the side of Fuel. Knowing that they play together off stream, obviously, and just get their reps in and just play together. And mid range with the MVP right there. 4 goals.
4 goals on 6 shots. It really does feel like Fuel's definitely playing, I think, better defense on average. But I think what's happening is that Randolph Macon, they're finding the more shots on net, which makes it so Fuel has more saves. You're not having as many saves from the side of Randolph Macon because Fuel was not finding those shots on net. But now that they're finding the shots on net, I mean, they're going in, right? Man Rage finds 4. Outside of that, you're only you have what, 10 shots on, and you make 4. That's a pretty good record for sure here as Fuel. And again, I mean, Sniper McGee, 4 saves. Just Defender McGee over here, really.
No, literally. I think this game is huge into like quantity over quality. Usually you want, especially in the higher lobbies, you want quality shots, right? You want, like, when your chance is there, get it. But if you have a shot from the halfway point and you just see someone on net, just throw it, right? There's a good chance they might mess up, and wow. Hard to trim, a really good shot right there. You win that kickoff, you go grab that boost, right? You just wait for these players to come and just nice
Just a
shot.
solo play, basically.
Nice play, yeah.
Zero, and did not need the team there. Just said, I'm winning the kickoff, then won the got boost, and then was just there for their own strike.
Yeah, did a really good job there. And another win there by them, but a nice job Fuel to push in their end. And mid-range just couldn't get the goal, unfortunately. Looks like he had a shot. Keegan going to go for something. Passed it to Sniper, but there it's the double commit I'm talking about. And look at this offensive end, and now it's an open goal for the team of Randolph-Macon. This is what I'm talking about. Why do we need two people going up for the exact same aerial? You don't. And then the third one, right, going up, like, man-range, you know, I'll cut him some slack. He was feeling nice. You know, he's feeling good. He got 4 goals last game. He was the reason they won. He's going to go for some crazy stuff. But the other two, you know, you don't need to do that. And a nice demo right there. But, oh, my goodness, Hurt to Trim
is angry about that last game for sure. He wants to make a statement here. Going for some aerial dribbles there, trying to find something here as 2-0 lead here for Randolph-Macon. It feels like Fuel, you know, they found how to play that defense, how to play those strike, you know, those contests in that second game, and it feels like they may have forgotten it between the break here, as now they're right back to what happened in the first 2 games where they just, you know, kind of overcommitted, right? And that's why I think taking these shots is very good, is because you'll see players overcommit a lot. You'll see players, you know, sometimes miss the commits they're going for.
I mean, yeah, look right here.
That these shots on net are just more and more likely to go in.
Yeah.
The reason why you're looking more quality over quantity when you're higher up, right, is because the saves are going to be that much higher quality, right? Easy goals are not going to be the one to trickle in.
Yeah.
But for these, I mean, anything can really happen, especially with how these commits have been going. But Fuel, you know, they bring it to between one point game as Manrage wanting to keep it up, look for something. Sniper McGee, though, not going to be back there. Keegan as well, not going to be able to contest the ball, but it's going to be just shy of the net. A lucky save there for the side of Fuel, as no one was really back there to contest the ball at all. Now Snoops tries to keep this one in the center. Orange does not find the touch. Orange has been having a rough one so far, not been able to find the touches that they're looking for. As now Fuel, they're on the offensive yet again, but again, 2 players with no boost.
Yeah, you can't go on the offensive end. You got to circle back, and right now they're doing that. They're circling back in some boost. But Manrage, you don't have any boost. Let's not chase someone up the wall with the ball, right? We got to circle back and play our rotations that we have. This is what we practice all year for. Now, I know it's playoffs, it's a tough game, a nice shot, but just a good save there. And a nice goal by Manrage again.
Manrage and Hurt to Trim are just trading blows back and forth. Neither player wants to be done by the other. As a second goal here for Manrage. Goat in training is the tag. I'd say that one is about as fitting as it gets.
You know what? I've seen enough. Get him on the main roster. I'm kicking Jane out. You know, it's been nice.
Oh.
It's been nice, but get him out of the room. I'll go into the room right now and I'll go tell him, hey, bud, we got someone. We got a goat. You know, someone's here. His name is Manrage 2.
Hey,
and he's here, you know. LeBron, it's been nice. Manrage 2 is here.
I'm saying Ches better be careful too, as Sniper McGee has been making a case for that defense, as well as Keegan. I mean, Keegan's been doing well. Right? They've been more really mid-player. You know, had that game 1 where they started to go up, but Hurt to Trim, again, trading blows back and forth. They do not want to let up anything.
So Randolph making 3 goals for Hurt to Trim. This is what I was talking about earlier. I think Hurt to Trim, very good on the side of Randolph-Macon. You can see that just by the score. He's all 3 goals. He also has a good save as well. I think Fuel needs to go for some demos on him when possible. Obviously, like you said, you can't just go for loosey-goosey demos and do them whenever. You need to go for calculated demos when it's appropriate, and mind you, when you have enough boost, and that's going to be a goal. Nice shot off of the wall. I would like to point out, Hurt to Trim currently is 4 for 4 on shots and goals. Not missing anything so far. Fuel just has not found the answer to stopping this.
you need someone back there. You just cannot be leaving an open net against a player like Grim, right? Especially after what he, you saw that second goal attempt where he was doing some crazy aerial moves, right? Like, you can't be letting that happen. You just have to have someone there to contest him.
They're giving him a lot of free space, especially in that mid-range, and especially on the wall. That's, like, I talked about this before. There's different, like, waves of Rocket League. There's playing on the ground, right? That's, like, kind of like wave 1. There's playing, in the mid-range under the crossbar. And then there's wave 3, which is playing above it. And wow.
I don't know how Manrage got that. I'm going to be honest. I feel like that was more Keegan's goal more than anything. I feel like Keegan actually hit Manrage into the ball. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's just, a tag team goal, right? We'll give it to Manrage.
Cool
the game
shot.
gives it to Manrage, but
yeah.
I'd say both players, end up having big value. And honestly, again, it is a double contest, but that one ends up working.
Yeah.
But again, Fuel has to be careful. They can't keep going for these double contests because just can't talk. Every time I try to speak, Hurt Trim just places one in the back of the net. I don't know what else to really say. Just
a nice touch.
Clean touch there. It's gonna go in 5-3, and all 5 are on the side of Hurt Trim, kind of playing almost a 1 versus 3 at this point.
Yeah, it seems as though a little bit. But yeah, what I was saying is Hurt Trim can play above that crossbar, which is just nicely done again there. It's just something he's playing on a different level, and it makes it just really hard for these guys to be able to combat that, right? He's playing with faster speed. Look at this. He has full boost. The only person in the whole field that has full boost. Comes off of that wall, which walls can be super difficult for low players or like new players starting to play, and it's really tough to manage, controlling the ball off the wall. And so, but if he can do that, he's just going to take over games, and I think they're going to have to adapt and start kind of being more aggressive on him and more pumping.
You can't be affording to give Hurt Trim boost every time. I feel like you need someone just to be testing him in some way, shape and form. Like, even if you're not getting demos, if you're stopping him from getting, something rolling, shot's going to hit the crossbar there for Fuel, but Manrage here trying to set something up. The Dominus has been a little bit dominant.
Yeah, it has. And some bumps here, getting scrappy on the side of Fuel, which I like to see. And another bump, but yeah, unfortunately, nobody was there. And again, I like that play there by Keegan. He's trying to meet him at the wall. You don't want him to get going, right? Because if you just let him have this open space, he's probably going to do an air dribble, which is not an easy save, right? If you can stop him before he gets out in front of him.
Trim is out.
Hurt Trim's out, but he's already back.
He's
yeah.
Back. He doesn't have to boost. End with it. 36 here, but he's going to pick up another one, and now he might have a little bit of a breakaway. Instead, Fuel and Manrage just planting that one deep. I mean, so, we've been saying how Hurt Trim is 6 for 6, right?
Yeah, 4 for
4. 4 for 4 for Manrage. I mean, both players are trying their best to take this one forward. But with 47 seconds left, it's definitely still in Randolph-Macon's favor. But Fuel, if they can get a kickoff goal, if they can get an early goal going here, they can maybe make something happen. If he can look for something, instead gets demoed. Orange tries to find something here, but it's not going to find much. Fuel are inside of Randolph, and they have the boost to play with. Good touch there from Keegan to stop that.
That's just a good thing you got to do. That's a full court shot. It's a full court heave type of thing, right? Hurt Trim just threw out a shot, but it made 2 of Fuel's defenders go for it. And again, this is what I'm talking about. Throw the ball at the net, and it's probably going to find its way in, right? This is just a nice little touch, and Snoops accidentally taps it in, right? But that's not a crazy play that we're gonna see, right? Like that's something that happens in this lobby. Show me that shot topper again. I swear I love it. It is amazing. But like it's something we're gonna see in these lobbies. So take advantage of that, right? Just keep the pressure up. They're going to make mistakes. They're not perfect. Nobody is. And in these lobbies, mistakes are what they're made of, right? Like there's a lot that are gonna happen. So just keep the pressure up. Fuel's doing a really good job, staying cool and composed. They're playing, a mid-range is going all the way up, but Hurt Trim with a nice save.
There to follow, and the ball is staying up on the wall. Keegan has boost, but he's not going to be there as he instead backs off, thinking that his teammates have that. And now Fuel Rising, like the main team, are going to go down 3-1. Randolph-Macon, and especially Hurt Trim, are running away with this one. That's 1 point. That's 11. 1-1, 1-2. 1,100 score for Hurt Trim. 6 goals, 6 shots, 2 saves. I mean, Manrage with 619 is doing great as well, but it's just not enough to stop the domination that Hurt Trim put on in that lobby.
That's pretty insane, especially because Orange had 116 score, right? An assist gives you, I believe, 50. It gives you 50. And every time you touch the ball, you get 2 points. And so he had 116 minus 50, so he touched the ball about 20 times in 5 minutes. Hurt to Trim probably touched the ball 20 times, and I think one play, I bet. It's just showing, like, there is clearly, I'm not saying Orange is a bad player, right?
No,
But
not at
I'm
all,
just
right?
saying there's levels to it right now in this game, and we just need to deal with the threat. It's kind of like Thanos, right? There's no point in taking out all his minions. We need to go for Thanos. We need to stop him. He can't get this gauntlet. He can't have his gauntlet is a full boost,
Avengers,
right?
we
And the
need to
snap is a
assemble for
goal.
sure. Yeah.
We can't have this happen. We need him to get. We need to stop him, and it's with a demo. We need to go back in time, and we need to demo him, right?
Need to demo him back in time. I like the
Yes.
references for sure. But I think, it's more so with how Randolph Macon's been playing is that it's very clearly hurt him as the start, right? Orange has kind of been their third string, right? They're playing Snoops as that mid-range player, and Orange can be, in the back, playing that more defense, playing, back to make sure that the team doesn't end up overcommitting something. So they're going to have, by proxy, less touches than Hurt to Trip, right? I don't think necessarily it's a fault of Orange. I think it's more so just how Randolph Macon plays. They just feed the hot hand. They feed Hurt to Trim as much resources as humanly possible. I mean, every boost pack is pretty much gone to Hurt to Trim, it feels like.
Yeah,
right?
no, for sure.
Never been without 100 boost, I want to say.
And right now, we already saw Randolph Macon already has 2 shots on Fuel, I believe, from what we saw. And, like, already 2 shots. We're 40 seconds in. There's a 3rd shot right there. Really good job just keeping that pressure on the side of Randall Macon. And Fuel just needs to keep this defense up. And, oh, my goodness, is this on net. A nice save by Hurt to Trim, again, being this guardian, this savior for Randolph Macon. And then taking it all the way to the other end as well, as Orange is going to come up here and Snoops is going to look for something as they just missed. But yeah, just Fuel doing a good job, going to try to keep this this defense up and keep it a 0-0 game, and then just take your time and work up a good push together and then get something going. They got a good chance right here. Like good boost to their name. Keegan just misses it. Play slow, nice, and that's what I'm talking about. You want to play, wait for that spot, and now the ball is on net and a good shot again. Hurt to Trim is there, but keeping that pressure up, and now he's out of the play. Now we're gonna have a good shot on net, and that's what I'm talking about. This isn't rocket science. This is Rocket League, right?
Oh, Sniper McGee 5 with his first goal.
No, he's definitely had some.
No, but
some
good goal there to keep bring Fuel up 1-0. And honestly, yeah, that was textbook Rocket League, right? They just kept cycling their boost players. They kept cycling between that center play. They kept recentering, and eventually, once the players were cleared out, it was a free open shot for Sniper McGee to take. Almost rolls in, almost trickles in there for Fuel to find a second, but Sniper McGee is going to get stopped head on by Snoops there. We will be able to clear that one out, but now the boost is low on the side of Randolph Macon. Trim is going to collect one, because now they're all full, so they're now on the attack. Trim centers it towards itself. Maybe behind the solo touches, as now Orange tries to look for something. Instead, Man Rage is going to be the one who's on the offensive, but a good bump there from Orange to stop really aggression there from the side of Fuel.
Yeah, and Fuel's doing a really good job. They know they're up 1. They're going to probably play a little bit more defensive, and it's not a bad idea. You just got to make sure you position yourself correctly, and when you clear it, still follow it up, which is what they're doing right now, but they're doing a good job, and that's going to be a goal if Keegan can get to it first, and he does, and a great job. That's defense turned into offense super quickly, and a really good job. That's just them being super patient. Man Rage getting 1 touch, and that's a triple commit. 1, 2, 3, triple commit. Keegan comes in, and some butterflies get shown because of that beautiful goal. Really good job by Fuel. They're playing phenomenal. Their back is against the wall, but it looks like it's 0-0 right now. It looks like they're in the lead, honestly.
It really does feel like they found that success that they found in the one match they won, right? They started to play different variation game. Now that's an unfortunate goal there for the Trim. Not able to stop it in time in the net. Is just a little bit too far forward.
And again,
far into the net was Keegan here. But it's, it tends to happen, right? But you're still in the lead. It really needs to start breathing your cock. You need to just start to slow this one down as much time as humanly possible.
Yeah, no, for sure. And right there, that's again, Hurt to Trim just kind of throwing something at the net, and it caught Fuel in an awkward spot. They did a really good job. They got a touch on it, and a nice shot attempt there. Sniper McGee going up, a touch. It's going to be off the backboard. Can he double tap this? Yes, he can. Oh my goodness. Sniper McGee 5. Give me 5 goals this game. I want to see that, because holy crap, that was really nice. good car control as well. To get up there, to not only touch it and then stay with it that whole time, he kind of got off-centered a little bit, but then to switch his car right back over.
Be able
really
to,
good job.
make those micro adjustments, right? Be able to fix those little mistakes.
And here's another goal if they
find
can
that
get
aerial
on net.
contestation. I mean, yeah, that's just a little bit of an unfortunate play there for Snoops, who's just not able to get up in time, stop the ball, and it's just wide open for Man Rage, who, kind of taking a little bit of a back foot this game, right? Isn't taking everything, isn't kind of finding all the goals. And Sniper McGee are finding their own footing, and if they can start to heat up this game, the series can be so much closer, right? You can really start to have a comeback, as games that they've been ahead, they've been dominant in. They really have just been lights out, playing a completely different level of Rocket League. It feels like sometimes they get over complacent and they just start back into their old ways. But good demo there on the side of Snoop. Open up field for them, just that little bit, clear it out. Sniper McGee here in that center field with the 50 boost. I'll look for something, but instead Keegan's gonna be the one to contest it. Snoops now has a little bit of a breakaway, stopped by Man Rage. Ball is in Fuel's side. Her Trim does not find the touch.
Yeah, and Fuel, again, like I talked about, they were doing a really good job at the beginning of this game, and now that you're up, like you said, they're kind of going back to old habits. They're up, they're starting to play, they're starting to be an autopilot. Is they touch the ball every time they see it, which sometimes is good, but other times, sometimes you got to kind of, let it be. It's someone else's ball to get. I'm going to circle back and get boost. And that really all comes down to trusting your teammates, right? Like, Man Rage right there, doing a good job, like, going with that ball. But Keegan tried to come in and take it, right? If we can just play, play as a team, go like, I got it. I'm gonna follow this ball, and then position yourself in that mid so you can keep the offensive going, right? I think that's one thing they need to work on right there. Really good, great. You're not trying to jump up for that ball. You let your team come in and go for that shot, and a good job. And Orange going to be the only line of defense here, but a good job. Way to clear it there, as Fuel is going to try to take another stab at Randolph McGee's defense and try to inflate their lead a little bit more, as Sniper McGee puts it top right corner. 3 goals, give him a hat trick, put him on the field. He get 5 shots, also an assist as well. Really good job by Sniper McGee here, just being in the right spot at the right time, playing that mid area, that neutral space, and controlling it. Is doing a really good job.
I stand corrected saying he should be renamed to Defender McGee, because he has those snipes, right? He has the ability to shoot. He's found 3 in this game so far. Feels like he decided they weren't winning when he was on the defensive, right? These first couple of games they were playing quite well, but afterwards they started to fall apart. So maybe he's just like, you know what, get me on the offense. Let me at him, right?
Yeah.
He's still here back playing defensive. 1 second, and instead Randolph Macon gonna drop that one down to the ground. So
good job.
Fuel taking a second game of the series. Now it's 3-2. Their still backs are against the wall, right? They're still in a rough position, but if they can keep playing like they just did in that last match, this can easily swing their way, as long as, Hurt to Trim doesn't have another lights out 8 for 8 game.
Yeah, that would be, I wouldn't put it past them for sure. I feel like it's definitely possible. Also, Shadow Keegan at the very end there, he did a little half flip. I know those are super hard to pull off, and it seems like, that's something that he might have just started adding to his game. I saw him pull it off pretty seamlessly, so very impressive. It seems like this team is I wonder at the beginning of the year if he could do that, and now he couldn't do it, and now he can, because it looked really good, and I'm very impressed with that. And so I think you can just see this team, especially when they're up, they start trying things that are out of their comfort zone, right? I haven't seen him do it all game. He went for one there last second, and I think it's just showing, right? Now they have a bit more wiggle room. Obviously, they can't lose, but they're feeling a lot better overall because of that win. So now they can go into this next game and kind of feel more like themselves and play as a team together, as we saw at the end. And their scores kind of all shared along the side of Fuel, which is kind of the opposite of Randolph Macon, right?
It's very clearly top heavy, right? It's very clearly in the favor of Her to Trim, and it looks like that's just going to be. Oh, is there a sub coming in, or is that just there? Looks like we may have a substitution here for Randolph Macon, as Rowan Oakers is going to be subbed in over Orange. So
yes, yeah.
Orange 800,000 is not going to be playing this next match, as Rowan Oakers is going to be the answer they need, as they're going to be having the offensive here already, as Oops and Hertstrom keeping it over here. Hertz playing that midfield. Hertstrom gets that aerial contestation, but Keegan there to match it, right? I saw these players, they were practicing, they were in that training section. They were doing all of their individual plays, right? They were practicing their mechanics. They didn't practice their comms as much. The fact the main team was playing at the same time, but still ready, and they're warming up. They're starting to feel more confident. You can clearly see a nice flick there from Runokers. Hertztram not going to be able to find the net. Rare miss there for him, as he's down to basically no boost. Now Keegan looks for something, but he's not going to find the ball. Cleared out for the side of Randolph-Macon. Sniper McGee there to match it on the wall. Now they're just trying to get this out. Manrage has full boost. Can he clear it is the question. Instead, Hertztram going to keep it over here. Inch goes up high. Keegan now going to be able to one to touch it to clear it out up center.
Oh, and a nice. We're going for an aerial play. Ooh. Who is this? A flip reset? Oh my gosh!
Why was this guy on the bench?
I wonder if he's probably in their main team, where they wanted to try out Orange as someone new and get their sub in there, and they were doing well with him. But a flip reset over the defense, and then Hertztram comes in and gets that goal for him. There seems to be a bit of a skill gap with the teams right here, and I feel frustrated for Fuel because they're doing really well. I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing this game.
Incredibly well,
yeah, I'm really liking this team. Like I said, I think I have a new favorite player, Sniper McGee. Orange was probably second because I really like this topper. But it's like flip resets. Are we joking? We're working on. I was talking about how they're working on their half flip. Half flips is nothing compared to a flip reset, you know, and that's insane.
Roanoke's came out swinging. I mean, maybe Hertztram's actually the one on the back foot, as Roanoke's going to be the real sniper here, real striker for Randolph-Macon. However, Fuel, they're not really that discouraged. They're keeping the ball in the net. Now, can they finish it off? Keegan not quite able to get there in time, as Manrage almost placed that one solo. Now, Hertztram back up top here. He doesn't find it. Manrage headbutts the wall. Snoops tries to find that contestation. It's double contest yet again for Fuel. Hertztram there to match. Again, they're falling back into their old ways. You notice when they start to win is when they stop doing these double contestions. But they're just not communicating. It feels like they just saying it's a situation of I can always do it, right? They never believe. Say as much as they want. They have good synergy. Now I feel like always a believer. Just think they're better, right? They think they're always able to get that touch. Hertztram gets another goal off of the kickoff. So you know what? My fault, Hertztram. You know, I tried to say Roanoke was taking your spot. Now you're still 3 for 3.
Yeah, but no, I definitely agree. It does come down to, you know, obviously, you know, hours with the team trying to get that synergy up, and it's just you need to trust them. When we watch this main roster, when we watch, you know, like ECAC, we see them trusting each other. You'll see them just completely turn away, turn ball cam off, and go for boost because they know their team is there. And if they're not, they're gonna say something, right? They need to be more vulnerable and kind of be like, I got it, right? Like, I got it, and the other person be like, okay, I know he has it, I trust him. Or if I don't have it, be like, can someone get it, instead of trying to force it. Be like, I'm the closest person to it, I should save it. But you can sometimes say, I need help, you know, on defense. Can someone rotate back? Like, forget boost, we need to rotate back right now. Like, right, something like that. It's tough to be like that because you want to prove yourself. You guys are fighting for a spot on a team at the end of the day, right? You want to be the one that scores it. You want to be that mid-range when he has, you know, 5 aerial goals in a game, like something insane like that. But it's better to be a team player. And I think Jane is a huge test for that. Jane might not be the most mechanical player on Fuel, but he wins some games all the time because of his communication and because he can be that glue guy. He can just be thrown in. The first week they played with Jane, they put him on the team. They beat a top 5 team in Canada, and it looked like Jane has played with them for a ton of time. And they said a lot of that was just to do with how good he is, how he's kind of just like I said, a glue guy. He just finds his flow, and he doesn't overextend, right? And he communicates. He talks about, you know, okay, I messed up. I'm gonna do this to get back. We need a bit more of that here, like right here, like going for that big aerial play, a nice play, but we need some more passing plays, right? We need some more communication.
You need to start doing those teammates, right? You need to start doing the plays that you saw the team that Fuel ended up playing against, our main team that played against, right? They were doing so many passing plays. I'd be really interested to hear what the comms are like for Fuel Rising, because I feel like communication is so key in a game that is so team-based, right? You're always going to be together. It's 3 versus 3. There's never a moment of, you know, solo play really outside of, you know, when you have those breakaways, but you're still always going to be thinking about your team in there. As in the meantime, you know, Randolph-Macon have gone up 4 to nothing. It is 1 minute left on the clock. Fuel have yet to find of an answer, even a slight hope of a goal so far, as it's back on their side of the field. Clear almost makes its way past defenders. It's right back. Cypher Big E, the one to contest Hurt Trim here, but he gets past him. Egan there to match it. Flips off of the wall to try to find some sort of value, but Scoops is here. Very picking deep in Fuel's side as Hurt Trim buries the 5th one. I don't want to say it's the nail in the coffin, but feels like it very well may be, with 5-0 lead for Randolph-Macon.
30 seconds left. You know, if Fuel's going to come back, which I believe they can, we need, starts with an S, ends with an Iper. Sniper McGee. We need him to turn up. I need to see him show me something I haven't seen. I need him to show me something that shouldn't be. They need to nerf in Rocket League. He needs to come out with this new tech I've never seen, right? 15 seconds left. Show me something now, right? I want to see something that's been vaulted, right? Something they should take away from the game. I need it. Sniper McGee goes up, and they are really...
That works.
We're really messing with him. Okay, that's just rude. That's just rude. He's doing that on purpose. He's scoring on his own net on purpose.
That's messed up. You know, you get subbed in, you hit a flip reset, and then you score on your own.
I'm pretty upset over that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Rowan Oker's definitely not being game of. See, has 4 seconds left on the clock, unless, you know, 5 basically kickoff goals happen in a row, where it's going to be impossible as the ball. Oh, they don't care. They were about to walk that one in their net again, by the way.
Yeah, it's just
Randolph-Macon. They're playing with their food in that last game. You end up winning it 5-1, and they end up taking the series 4-2. It felt like Fuel Rising really had, found the answers in those couple games they won, but it felt like it started to slip the moment anything went awry.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's hard. It's hard, especially when you haven't played with the guys a lot. It's not easy to know how to fight against, a team like that has such a stacked, like, crazy comp you've probably never seen before. And also to start a lot of the games coming down and trying to fight your way back in, it's something that you need more time with, right? You need to practice more and more. Like, we're down, how do we change? How do we adapt, right? They've only played such little time, so they only have certain strategies. So just about adapting is tough. And honestly, I am kind of disappointed though that they would score on their own net, just to do that. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Like, we get it, you won, but it is playoffs. They Fuel Rising, they did a really good job.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of hurtful, I personally didn't like it, but maybe
same.
it's because I made fun of their school name. But
Yeah,
honestly, if it's because of that, take it out on me. Don't take it out on them, right?
Yeah, I think the players, they can come out of this one feeling, again, it's their first semester, right? A lot of these people, I know, I was talking with Keegan, it's his first semester at college, right? So he's got a bright future. A lot of these players have a bright future that has them. I feel like if you already made playoffs in your first semester as a team, if you just keep this squad together and keep building on the power that they have, I really feel like this team can start to be a playoff threat in this division. Obviously, they're not going to be able to do it this year, but same with Maine. I think the more reps you get in as a team together, because of how team reliant this game is of Rocket League, I think the more you're going to find that success, less you're going to find those double commits, right? You're going to be able to trust your teammates that little bit more, and you're going to be able to find the answers.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And speaking of Maine, we are going to be seeing the main roster play after a little break, so don't go anywhere. I'm super excited to watch that, but a really good job by Fuel Rising. Unfortunately, a 2-4 loss, but we have some more Rocket League coming up after this.
Don't go anywhere.